Mahoning County Board of Elections will hold a regular board meeting of the members of the board on Tuesday, May 7th, 2024, at 4 p.m. in the boardroom of the Mahoning County Board of Elections offices, 345 Oak Hill Avenue, Youngstown, Ohio. Would the director call the roll, please?
Ms. Barger? Here. Attorney Beatrice?
Here.
Ms. Ryan?
Here.
Ms. Calpesta?
Here.
Could we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance as the Vice Chairwoman leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have a moment of silence for our nation? Thank you. The chair will now recognize a motion to approve the minutes of the April 15th, 2024 adjourned special board meeting.
So moved.
There is a motion made by Vice Chairwoman Sandra Barger. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Bob Arndt. Is there any discussions? Hearing none, would the director call the roll, please?
Ms. Barger?
Yes.
Attorney Beatrice?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Ms. Calpesta?
Yes.
The chair will now recognize a motion to approve the bills of accounts and payments for March and April of 2024.
So moved.
There's a motion made by member Joyce Calpesta. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Vice Chairwoman Sandra Barger. Is there any discussions? Hearing none, would the director call the roll, please?
Ms. Barger?
Yes.
Attorney Beatrice?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Ms. Calpesta?
Yes.
Chairman's report. The only thing I want to report on is, I guess now we're down to 30,000 square feet roughly is what we need.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
Yeah, between 25 and 30.
Okay, so, have we checked with the prosecutor's office? Remember, we were gonna ask for advice on,
We did ask him to give us an opinion and talk with the commissioners at the same time. The study group was back in here last week. Melissa met with them, walking through our space. That's being done through the Port Authority with the commissioners, commissioned by the commissioners. So it's a work in progress. We also saw a newspaper article where Dan DeCenzo, clerk of court, they were talking about doing a satellite office and doing some operations out of here. So it's something that the county is progressing and working on.
right. It's just that, the parking is horrendous here.
Correct.
The early voting this is not for ease of the voters. And wherever we go, I want to make sure that easy access in and out, and it has bus service to it. So we're still all kind of working in that direction?
Correct.
Okay. Does the director have a report
Just in the sense that, early voting starts next Tuesday.
already?
Yeah. It's very slow. We only have a handful of absentee requests at this point, only a handful of new registrations. I don't know if we're doing public service announcements again for this election or not. I don't know what.
We were slated to, and I wondered what if we wanted to. She has it ready, we could, for the June 11th, it would be the same commercial, we would just switch out the date.
Yeah, if the board, if it was helpful.
So we already paid for that, and then it would be, she'd have to pay for the running of the ads, which I can't remember.
Is it in our budget for it, or?
We have the money. I really didn't pull the trigger on it because I sort of was like, okay, I'd rather spend that money on November,
I would too.
and
Yeah.
that's why I didn't do that part. Yeah, she could, commercial would be saturated because it's the same commercial. We just change out the dates.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do one for the eighth.
Can I ask a
I think it's a foregone conclusion, but go ahead.
Is the state paying for this election?
Yeah,
So they are supposed to, they haven't released any funds, they haven't released dollar amounts. My guess is they're waiting for after the May expense reports to see what they should release.
But it
Because
is-
nobody knows that there's a June election, so I think sometimes it's helpful to maybe have a little advertisement so people do go to the polls.
It's-
But that's just my opinion.
I understand. I just don't, it's a foregone conclusion as to what's gonna happen. I mean, I'm not trying to editorialize, it's a plus 18 Republican district, so, but we have to have the election, so we're gonna have the election.
Also, we have our new regional representative.
Hi.
Frank LaRosa's office, Fiona,
Fiona, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
taking over for Shamore.
What happened to Shamora?
She found greener pastures.
Yeah.
You don't have a nice Irish name.
And Fiona, how do you spell your name?
Fiona.
F-I-O. I heard you the first time, Joyce, but feel free to keep telling me.
I will keep
And
telling
your
you.
last name?
Yeah.
Rominski, like drinking rum in ski season.
Rum and ski. I like that. All right, well, thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
You won't get too much trouble out of this board.
Oh, I better know.
Yeah. All right, anything else from the director, assistant director? No? Any unfinished business?
Now, the only thing we have is talking about the office space.
So, just so I'm clear on, how much finished space, square footage do we need? To store the machines, they don't need to finish that space, so we could save the taxpayers money.
Correct.
They just need to have a wall and it needs to be secure.
Secure and dry and.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a breakdown, I'm not sure if I sent that to the committee yet, but I can resend it after the meeting.
All right, resend it out. Anything else in unfinished or new business?
I would like to thank Joyce for updating the provisional
Yeah,
judge
that's
training
good.
manual.
Very good, Joyce.
Thank you, Joyce.
How is, we got everyone up and trained and ready to go? I mean, because it's a countywide election.
Yeah, it starts next week, for the training,
I believe the week of the 20th.
20th. Right now, we're fully staffed. We do have a different plan on dropping off some of the supplies at night, so we have our first report out quicker. Youngstown's gonna drop off their supplies here instead of going to drop-off point. So that first report after 7:30 should come pretty quick, so that won't be that big delay of the first report.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we're gonna try it in June and then tweak it for November.
Sounds good. All right. Anything for the good of the order of public comments? Okay, so here are the rules. This is your chance to make public comments. We don't regulate what you say. We give you 3 minutes, and it's generally not supposed to be a discussion. It's just a chance for the public to have their say in the Board of Elections. You can come up here and criticize us. You can do anything you want. But all we ask is your name, your address, and we put you on a timer, okay?
My name is Kathy Nielsen. I live in Youngstown, and we were still wondering if the cameras were fixed. We've asked for 2 years about that. And with this coming election, are we going to be able to have access to the cameras in the counting room and outside?
I can address that. We spoke with IT, and the camera in question is one on the drop box. It's a little blurry, we can't see the license plate numbers and see who's coming and going. We spoke with the director of IT, you remember, I can't think of his name right now, it's new, he played Jake for you. They're gonna replace the camera for us, hopefully May, June. So
Okay.
we'll have new cameras set up for May or June, hopefully for the June 11th election, but definitely for November.
Okay. Now regarding any cameras in the tabulating room, is there a rule, is there anything in the Secretary of State's office that prohibits that?
The last, I spoke with Michael Brewer, and he said that the cameras inside were not necessarily up for public consumption, and there was a directive about it, and so we have to pull that to verify that information. And that
Well,
was
I would like
probably
us
a
to pull that
security
directive.
information.
I'd like us to pull that directive and to put it on our website, please, for the public. So you talked to someone at the Secretary of State's office, and the cameras aren't for the public to tie into what you're saying.
Right.
And there's a directive about that.
Right.
Okay. So everyone understands, we take an oath, all four of us, to follow the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and the directives from the Secretary of State. So if the Secretary of State says there's no public consumption, we can't trump him. He's the ultimate election official in the state of Ohio. Okay, anyone else, public, for the good of the comment?
My name's Neil Goss. I live at 115 Marcia. I am an e-poll judge. Last year, the state of Ohio passed a law on IDs, checking IDs for that, and this is for the board and for the state representative. Why are we not being trained to look at the back of the license to check for citizenship? Now, I brought that up in my training, and they said that the state of Ohio did not require it, but it is a law. Why are we not being trained to do that?
Well,
And I did bring this up with the director.
okay, go ahead.
That's true. You know, you did, I apologize, Dale, because I was gonna check into that and look at the law on that. But some counties, I have talked to them, they are checking, there's a citizen check on the back of the ID. Some are trading that way, some are not.
Columbiana's doing it.
Yeah, Columbia is one of them, that's correct.
Well, non-citizens are not allowed to vote. We all agree on that, right?
Correct.
All right, so if it wouldn't be too much trouble, we can
Add
just
to the training.
add it to the training, make sure. But we generally haven't caught any fraud. If anything, we've disenfranchised voters. If you remember the last time, when we said the signatures didn't match, we sent it to the sheriff's office. They went to the people's homes, and they said, yes, they did sign that, and we threw out their votes. So we are very cautious about that, but we certainly don't want to disenfranchise any voters. If anyone has a right to vote, their vote should be counted, and if you don't have a right to vote, their vote should not be counted. It should be easy to vote and hard to cheat. Okay, anyone else have anything for the good of the common? Go ahead,
Greg D. Dominic, 1238 Victory Hill Lane, Youngstown.
go ahead.
First, if any of you might know this or direct me where I can find it, what's the annual budget that's attributed to the board here?
We could provide that figure to you when we get a budget from the commissioners.
Maybe 2.9 million, something
Yeah.
Somewhere around 2.9 million, you said?
Yes.
like that. But I'd rather get you the exact figure.
Sorry, yeah, I'd appreciate that.
We will provide you with the exact figure.
And out of that, does it break down where the spending is in that?
So all of our meetings are public. We broadcast them, we take them, and all of our minutes are subject to inspection, and all of the approval of any expenses are also subject for public inspection. So when we started the meeting, we approved the bills for the March and April of 2024. And we get these ahead of time, and we review them. And if any of the members have questions, we ask the director or assistant director. But these are all public records, all public. The public can inspect them as much as they want.
So are those line items of what the expenditures were, or is there a separate document that shows a breakdown of the overall categorized spending by the board?
In the budget, it is categorized in that way, and that's true for all county entities, like if you have this much for operations, this much, so for example, for printing, for professional services, so
And where do we
you get your
find that?
budget each year, it's set.
If you're looking for the overall budget, or if you're looking how we spend it. Now, these line items aren't what we give the commissioners. These are grouped together and they're given to the commissioners. But we're not gonna say to the commissioners, oh, we need to pay Mill Creek Auto this much a year. That might go under a section of supplies or whatever. Or we need Penske's truck rental. We certainly, when we go to the commissioners, don't go, we need this for Penske's truck rentals. We say we need this for supplies to run the elections. So this will give you the breakdown of how we spend the money that the county commissioners provide to us. Okay, anyone else for public comment?
I had just two more quick questions. What was the, if anybody knows or you can direct me where I can find it, what was the percent of the overall voting in the last election that was attributed to early voting?
I gave that number.
That number is obtainable, and we can get it for you.
And the same with the absentee voting?
It's the same combined number.
Was it
We
combined?
can break it down to-
Absentee and early voting under the law is considered the same thing.
But I can break it down.
Okay.
Okay, when you vote in person or you mail in your ballot, it's all considered under the law, the same thing. Okay. Anyone else for the good of the order? Okay. Our next regularly scheduled meeting for the Mahoney County Board of Elections is set for Tuesday, June 4th, 2024, at 4 p.m. in the boardroom of the Mahoney County Board of Elections office, 345 Oakville Avenue, Youngstown, Ohio. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
There is a motion made by Vice Chairwoman Sandra Barger to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Member Bob Arndt. Is there any discussions? Hearing none, would the director call the roll, please?
Ms. Barber?
Yes.
Member Dutress?
Yes.
Ms. Barr? Yes. Ms. Del Paso?
Yes.
This meeting is now adjourned.